Hello everybody, Mr McCallum here, Head Teacher Bulletin for the week commencing 31st of October. Hopefully you've had a lovely half-term break. I know we're well rested. We've had a really productive, good first week back, which I'm delighted to share some highlights with you this week. Let's get going. So in the Gospel this week, we've been talking about the story of Zacchaeus. He's a small wealthy man who was despised by the Jewish people as a greedy tax collector working for the Romans. And before he met Jesus, Zacchaeus showed himself to be someone in search of salvation. He made a spectacle of himself by climbing a tree in order to see Jesus. And we've been communicating, the gospel message this week and really reflecting on that with pupils because we too can experience a change of heart and ask for forgiveness. And the theme this week has been on forgiveness. And Zacchaeus changed his life because Jesus believed in him, and he was then able to have better relationships with people around him and with God. And it's important to remember that Jesus believes in us too when we let him into our lives, and it's important that us to acknowledge that our relationships grow with each other stronger when we're not afraid to let those around us in. So it's very much been about forgiveness, about setting a challenge with change and sort of moving forward. So really good conversations happening this week in relation to the gospel message as part of assembly and tutor time. So linked to this, we've had two feast days this week, really important feast days. The Feast of the All Saints on 1st of November and the Feast of the Holy Souls on the 2nd of November. And we were really privileged to be part of the Holy Souls this week. A team of our ethos team, our choir and our senior sixth form team accompanied Mrs Darwin and Mr White to the Sacred Heart Parish and supported the anointing mass there. And you'll see there's a lovely quote there that's been brought back to us by Sacred Heart Parish, which it makes us immensely proud. And we're beginning to see a real change in the community really, and how we're supporting sort of both the parish and the wider community. And that's something we'll continue to do and get our good name out there. So thank you for those people who are involved in that. So I said this week was a busy week. We've had a trust curriculum review this week on Tuesday. So OLICAT is our trust. As part of sort of our review process, we have our school improvement directors and our strategic lead who comes into school regularly to look at sort of curriculum, quality of education, safeguarding at various points throughout the year. And you'll see there's lots of real positivity in relation to that review this week, and they've praised the significant improvements really in response to the quality of education and how we're moving the school forward. So I'll share more details with you once I've received the final report. But yeah, really pleased with the progress that's been made. They deep dived in English and maths, and we had a particular focus on special educational needs. But yeah, thank you to those staff involved and pupils. There was a pupil voice as well, which came through really strong and positive. So thought it would be really useful to have an insight there into our review process. So we've had some canteen refurbishments going on over half term. So we're delighted that Coombs, our catering partner, had decided to improve the kiosk and the environment in the canteen. So just some photos there just to show you what's taken place. Just big push on lost property really. We've outside student services, we've got a lost property bin now, all clearly labelled up, but it's full. There's loads of lost property in there, so we'll make sure that pupils can access the lost property bin, and we're going to just have a lost property amnesty next week, whereby we'll lay all the clothes out and people can come and check and see if they've lost anything. But as part of this drive as well, and the push as we especially go into the winter months, you'll see we've got coats available, lots of coats available, over 40 or 50 coats that if pupils come to school and they've forgotten their coat and they need to borrow one, quite happily they just take one from the coat peg and then can bring it back. So please speak to your sons and daughters about that to remind them. We're having a big push in tutor time this week, but it's part of our package of care and support really. Just if it's raining, they need a coat, there's one there that they can help themselves to. So today is sixth form sleep out. So sixth formers are raising money for the Hope Centre. It's happening tonight. Fingers crossed for dry weather. So far they've raised £495. There's £200 coming in through cash today, and I know there's more donations and activities throughout the day that the sixth formers are busily trying to raise. So I've included the link there if you want to support a great cause by donating. So they're basically sleeping out for the Hope Centre tonight all the way until tomorrow morning. So any donations would be gladly appreciated for that. Keeping with sixth form, before half term, they had some careers and guidance from the University of Northampton, various workshops that were held looking at embarking on a career in health and social care. So they had the opportunity to look at like tendons and live ultrasounds, and it was really applied sort of learning whereby they could look into the health and social care career sector and just get more information and knowledge about that. So we'll continue our careers advice and guidance throughout the school, but I thought really interesting that that was shared with you today, just to show you what's going on in sixth form. So a reminder, Year 11 13 mock start next week. Week A is next week. The timetable's there, it's been shared with you already. Pupils have their timetable, and week B also. So we know it's a difficult time over the next 2 weeks. It can be stressful. So we're making our school counsellor available at lunchtimes as group sessions, just to support mental health and wellbeing. And a big push also on breakfast in the mornings to set them up for the exam. So breakfast club is available, and free bagels from 8 o'clock till we start school. So, you know, I urge get your sons and daughters here on time. Let them get some breakfast, set themselves up for the day, ready for their exams. And finally, just some key dates. Year 8 parents' evenings on Thursday, the 17th of November. Booking has gone home already for you to be able to make appointments. And if you're a Year 9 parent, that parents' evenings on Thursday, the 24th of November. Again, we'll send out the links next week for that to allow you to start booking and planning your time around joining us. So thank you for your support. Lots going on. We'll keep you updated next week. Have a lovely weekend.